Local law 4 is to amend the Canton Village Code by repealing chapter 280 subdivision of land and by replacing same with a new chapter 280 called subdivision of land. And the third law, local law number 5, is to amend the Canton Village Code by repealing chapter 264, and that's titled signs. We've set aside a special meeting here so that if anyone has comment, we wouldn't be constricted by the amount of time available to us. If anyone has any comment about any of these laws, now would be the time to have something to say. Anybody, I'm just looking at names. That anybody has something to say, they should identify themselves, where they live, and we let you speak for 3 minutes and then come back to you if there's any need to come back. So is there anyone from the public that would like to make comment? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll give it a few more minutes to see if anybody else joins us. These are significant changes in our code. A lot of effort's gone into this. And Monica, oh, there she is. Hi.
Hey, Monica.
How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm much better. Yeah,
good.
getting there.
It doesn't seem like we have a very big crowd here tonight to speak to the changes that we're looking for in these 3 local laws. So,
Okay. Well,
right now we're just waiting to see if anyone else joins us, and if they don't, then we've done our duty here.
all righty, sounds good.
Anybody have anything to comment or? We just wanted everybody to have an opportunity.
I can say as a village resident, I appreciate all the hard work that went into this change.
Thank you.
Monica, do you have it very often that there's really no public,
I've had a couple where there's only been like a couple of people and they mostly just had some questions, not really comments. But no, I mean, this is a little unusual to have nobody, but I have had several that have been very, people sometimes show up, but they're not there to necessarily speak. They just want to see what's going on, see if other people have things to say. I've had several that have come up, kind of been that way, where it's just fairly well attended, but then only 3 or 4 speakers. But I just think, that the whole COVID, people have gotten out of the habit of going out publicly to things. And we're finding more and more, there was an enthusiasm for Zoom meetings initially, but we're finding that trend is shifting and people are not showing up for public things necessarily either, but the Zoom enthusiasm is waning. Because we had some pretty well attended public meetings early on in Zoom where people thought it was kind of cool and a lot of people got on presentations, etc. And those same communities we're having meetings now and it's not the same. There's just everything's very lightly attended this fall. So I think there's Zoom fatigue setting in. And
Well, we anticipate a hybrid version of what we're doing, so.
yeah, I think it's good to have the option to come in because there's definitely Zoom fatigue. So having a ability to come in is, I think a problem, but on the other hand, who wants to have a public meeting right now?
Right. It's true.
But
So,
on the other hand, there's lots of people that love the armchair ability to hop on and speak. So I don't know. I don't know what to make of this, other than maybe people are generally comfortable. I'd like to look at it that way.
Going to.
Mhm.
And we
Well-
had a good public information session and people got all their questions answered.
And they could watch that too, right? So people could revisit that later at their leisure.
Yeah, that.
Well,
Yeah.
and at the same time, we had county planning board has been involved, the regular planning board's been involved. So, they were part of the process, so.
Right.
I think we've done the
I
right
think
thing.
I think our committee was good and worked hard.
Very clarified, the questions well. And has also kept the federal judge in the loop on everything we're doing, so.
Right.
I'd like to think we've hit all the bases.
I think you have. I mean, this process is, your requirements for public notices are a higher standard than anybody requires. A lot of other communities have those standards, but they're not, there's a lot of opportunity to, see a notice about things. And I think you've done all of that well, and,
Yeah, we have really good advice when it comes to doing those things.
mhm.
He's at the end of the table.
Hi, Jerry.
So,
I'm gonna miss talking to Monica when this is all done. I'll have to
Yeah.
find another
Oh,
project.
we're working on that.
We'll find you more projects.
Good.
7:30 in the morning is our best working hour.
Oh, my God.
Monica's usually my first phone call of the morning.
well, that's when I get emails from him too, so.
Exactly.
Other than that, there's nobody else from the public here that I can see. I just want to give it a couple more minutes and then I think we'll call it good.
So.
I always worry that our meetings are at 6:30 and then we do the public hearings at 6:36.
I know.
And I just hope that people aren't confused by that.
Well, we've publicized this and
Yeah, I know. I mean, I get
Just-
confused.
we did it this way so
And I
that,
do the publicity.
and we also did it so that, we had plenty of time. I think that's appropriate. Now, were there any more questions about the secret or anything that all get taken care of?
Well, we can talk about that tonight if you want. That'd be something you'll be discussing tomorrow. What was circulated today was the part 2, part 3, part 1 you got in October. Part 2 are the questions that
Right.
you want to consider. You've done this before.
Yeah.
And Monica had drafted a narrative that would be the basis for discussion. It's springboard, you can adopt it or you can modify it as you choose, but it's a proposal. I think the thought was that the adoption of the overall zoning law would not result in any significant adverse environmental impacts. And, the narrative walks you through each of the major factors and it sets forth reasons why, but those are all open for discussion. If you choose to agree with that, then there is a proposed resolution you can adopt, which declares a negative declaration.
Yep.
There's no significant adverse impact. Once you have to do that, your process is not complete until you finalize the secret.
Right. Okay,
Tonight's public hearing also would have allowed people to comment
On that part of it.
on that part of it.
well, okay. Is everyone comfortable that we've allowed time for public comment?
I mean, certainly according to the notice. I'm also happy to wait if, we want to give it a few minutes.
I can fill some time here. I don't know, Jerry, if you got the news or Mike, even if you did. I know I let Sally know that Bob Wells died.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. Was that today?
The tenth, but I have here the letter, to the, community. I can read it. It's nice
Be
stuff
nice.
about him.
That would be nice.
Would people like to hear that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also get way down here and take my
That's
mask off.
Friday.
If you have a copy of the letter, make sure that Tracy gets it, so she doesn't have to. type
Okay,
it.
Tracy, I'll send this to you. Emeritus Munsell Professor of Government Bob Wells passed away on Friday, December 10th at the age of 88. He taught at St. Lawrence for more than 45 years and was a strong advocate for education, a vital link between the university and Akwesasne and Mohawk communities, and served 3 terms as mayor of Canton. For many Laurentians, Bob epitomized the curiosity and heart of St. Lawrence. His scholarly work in the field of government inspired his pursuit of connections both within and beyond familiar social circles. He believed our respectful interactions could strengthen the communal bonds that define us. Bob proved this to be true so often that generations of students and colleagues adopted this same belief. At the University of Michigan, he majored in history and political science with a particular interest in international relations and U.S. foreign policy. He earned 3 degrees, bachelor's in 1956, master's in 1963, and a PhD in 1969. It was in Ann Arbor that he met his wife, Patricia. Bob began teaching government courses at St. Lawrence in 1965. Wow. After his promotion to full professor in 1977, he was named the Munsell Professor of Government in 1983. He served as chair of his department as the academic dean for 4 years. Then, after returning to the classroom, retired as professor emeritus in 1999. Bob remained a faculty member teaching part-time until 2011. At St. Lawrence, Bob taught more than 20 unique courses, ran several institutes and workshops, was a prolific writer of books, articles, and papers, and wrote and secured more than 20 grants, many funding educational opportunities for Native American students. He wrote the first higher education opportunity program grant for St. Lawrence and served as the university's inaugural director of the program. That's very cool. Throughout his career, Bob led several off-campus trips to Europe, Asia, and Australia. In 1995, he was selected as a Fulbright Scholar at the University of Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. St. Lawrence recognized his excellence in teaching with the J. Calvin King Faculty Award, the Outstanding Faculty Award, the Owen D. Young Outstanding Faculty Award, and others. Bob found particular meaning in his work in partnership with the St. Regis Mohawk tribe. He was recognized in 1983 by the United South and Eastern tribes for his longstanding contributions in helping the St. Regis Mohawk tribe through the development of the Akwesasne Library, the Operation K tutoring program, and the first Upward Bound program through St. Lawrence University. His commitment to the Canton community included his multiple terms as mayor of Canton and his position on the Canton Central School Board. Bob worked closely with his longtime colleague Peter Vandewater to establish the Canton Community Fund in 2000, an avid Rotarian who was awarded the Paul Harris Humanitarian Award by the Canton Rotary Club. Bob was also recognized by the Canton Lions Club with a Community Service and Leadership Award, by the Canton VFW Post with a Community Service Award, and was given the Outstanding Citizen Award by the Canton Chamber of Commerce. On and off campus, Bob was known as a deeply caring and passionate educator with an infectious laugh. He inspired students, encouraging them to nurture their creativity, always with the aim of being exemplary citizens. Many will remember his beaming smile and neighborly wave as he walked or rode his bicycle around campus and the village of Canton. Bob was also devoted to his family, including Patricia, his wife of 61 years, and his children, Cynthia, Gretchen, and Chris, and the head coach of St. Lawrence Skating Saints women's hockey team. After a private ceremony for family, a celebration of his life will be planned in 2022. There's wishing to honor his memory. There's a scholarship fund. That's lovely, lovely letter, I think.
Yep. For
Okay, that was,
You did your share.
sure. Yep.
okay, is Tracy? Where is it? Oops, 'cause it's It's a
Bob
deal.
Wells would see me walking up the sidewalk and stop his car and roll down the window and he'd shout out, "I'm a cop."
Because anyway.
He took his hat from the camera.
Okay,
Just send it to me. and I
so
can
thanks
send
for
it to her.
sharing that.
You're welcome.
I got a call from Andy Gardner about it. So I had a few comments to make.
Yeah, I think it'd be nice if, we don't need to read the whole thing tomorrow night, but to acknowledge that.
So, at any rate, I think that, we've given adequate time for our public hearing. I thank those of you that came. That spoke,
Mike,
yes,
it's Paul,
Paul.
how are you?
Good.
This is on the agenda for tomorrow night. What's, you gonna adopt tomorrow night or possibly?
That could possibly adopt tomorrow night. That's, a decision that the board will make. I suspect that with no comments coming today, that, we would probably move forward. But that would be the board's decision ultimately.
And one other thing, did someone take a picture of the ADA doors on Monday?
Oh,
Yes, and Carol is supposed to send you a little press release and a picture.
oh, I got it. I'm on it.
All right, Carol, I'm on a deadline.
I'll just send you the photos. Will you write it up?
Yes, will I know everybody in the picture?
I'll do it.
She'll send you something.
I'll do it. I'll do it right now, Paul.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's
I
okay.
I reminded her that that was happening too, so. It's okay. Paul, anything else?
No, thank you.
Okay. Okay, well, if there's nothing more, I will conclude this public hearing. Need a motion to adjourn? Klaus?
Second.
Anna? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks all.
Thanks, Monica.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Monica.
Monica.
Bye, Monica.
Tim, thanks for coming down. I thought if someone came, it was important that you were here to hear it,
Yeah, I'm glad you're here, Tim. Thank
face to
you.
face, so.
I'll be on
Appreciate it.
tomorrow night.